Hey friends, Tux here. I got something really cool and exciting to unbox for you. This is something I've been waiting for a full year. This is a Steam Deck. This is how it comes. I ordered it last year in July, like July 5th, and now this year of 2022, August 5th, I ended up getting it. So it's about a year wait, actually. This is the highest end version, the 512 version, and this is how it comes in a very sturdy box, pretty heavy box too at that. Let's go ahead and without further ado, let's just go ahead and open this up. Got my little knife here. Let me go ahead and do a little cutty cut action. And we'll slit the tape here and check this out together. I've been really looking forward to this, largely because I have a lot of Steam games. Oh, check out the cool on the inside here. I love it when brands have like inside little things. Oh my gosh, on the toilet. I guess these are all the different places you can play your Steam Deck. On the subway, all sorts of things in different languages. Funny that on the toilet is like right there. I honestly do not play games or use iPads or anything like that on the toilet, okay? But it's funny that it's like front and center when you open this up. All sorts of explanations here in a test chamber. Boy, it just goes on. Very cool marketing. I love the box here. And we do have a very large little attention here to make sure everyone's on board with the power. Looks like that's where the power plug goes in. This is USB-C, and it does have like a little button right there. So we'll go through and we'll check this out. But really huge graphic there, and a little detailed, nice color, like thick cardstock, and very nicely done too. Talks about the menus, I guess, and you can put an SD card in there, which actually I didn't buy an SD card for this, so I'm probably gonna have to do that, even though this is the 512 version. Okay, looking at the accessories here, we'll pull this off first. We got like a little valve box here, very interesting. We'll pull this out. Looks like the branding goes all the way through to the bottom, as you can see, and it looks like there's a small box here, and this is probably the power supply, I'm guessing. Very cool. We got the little portal icon there. Where's my knife? Let me go ahead and give this another little cut here. There we go. And checking out the little power supply. Pretty standard. My phone's going off now. Pretty standard power supply here. I like the way it's a nice small brick, okay? This way it will fit into a power supply very easily. You know, it doesn't take up too much width. It'll fit very nicely onto, you know, some kind of like 8-10 prong power strip, and good stuff. In fact, I need to do a video on the power strips I use. I have a brand I like, which I'll show you that in a future video. Stay tuned. But this is a USB-C, as you can see right there. USB-C. I'm sure you're familiar with that, what that looks like. But you probably could use any charger. But honestly, for electronics, I love it when new devices come with new chargers. And I love this fact that this has its own little charger here. So I'm going to try and keep my Steam Deck working with the official Steam charger, okay? Although it is cool that it's C, so you know that in a pinch you probably could charge it with a number of different chargers that you have already, okay? So good stuff. All right, moving on along, let's check out the box here. It looks like your games are going places. And again, that was like a big motivation for me actually buying this, is that I wanted to be able to play, like, you know, there's Steam sales, you buy a whole bunch of games, you play them once in a while, you know, but it would really be nice if they're portable. And that's what just makes this genius. You're buying a console, but you already have a whole bunch of games for it, you know? It's like, it's not that I don't want to play on this. I already know I want to play on this. I have some amazing games, and of course, I can buy some more too. Comes all pre-wrapped like this. Let's go ahead and open this up, and we'll pull it out. Now, there is a variety of cases. Again, this is the 512 case, so I think it is a little bit different. It's like a premium case compared to the cases you get with the other one. Give us a good once over. Got nice shiny lettering there. Very cool. Nice thick cardstock. Steam Deck looking good. Talks about the contents here. One video game machine, one case, okay? Very, very simple. Looks like we have a little handle up here, which is nice too. Or actually, that's just a zipper. It looks like a handle should pop through there. We'll come back to that. On the back here, we have all sorts of instructions and things. I'm just gonna leave that alone, but you can pause that if you wanna read the fine print. And the bottom here, looks like we have a little attention. Oh, attention. Okay, so there we go. So, all right, let's go ahead and pull this out, but I do definitely love the way it looks, and we're greeted here with the little Steam logo, the little Valve logo, so very cool stuff. Oh, there's a handle. There we go. And that's a nice thick handle too. Check that out. Very nice and thick. That's not going to fall anywhere or anything like that. And the whole case, I have to say, is really great looking. Oh, and this is kind of unique. Wow, check this out. There is like weird indentation here. I never knew about this from other videos. Okay, well first we have a cool little cover here. So that's really cool. I guess this is for the power supply. So the power supply you can put in this little gubby hole, okay? Which is very interesting. Like normally you'd put that more on the inside of the Steam Deck. But this one has this cool little hidden compartment behind this elastic where you could put, I guess the power supply would go into this really nice, like branded little bag, okay? And that could fit right in there. So very interesting how they did that. Love the feel of the case. It feels very premium, very glossy. This is very rubbery, kind of like a mouse, grip or something. Feels very good and grippy. The top part here, it looks like we do have, oh, that's interesting. It's locked, and most electronics don't have, oh, it's a valve lock. That's very interesting too. Check that out, little valve lock on there to make sure that it's not been opened. I guess if it's being returned, they don't want you opening it, I guess. Very cool. Let me go ahead and get a knife, and I don't mind making it official and breaking this bad boy open. So we're gonna take our knife here and let's go ahead and cut open our little lock. I don't think there's any way because it does go right through. So I guess you could use like a little padlock or something if you're traveling right there. So that's another kind of cool little touch. I wish I could save this without breaking this seal because it's kind of cool, but I don't think there is a way of doing that. Oh, there is. I can just pull it out. Check it out, no knife needed. All right, so we'll put that back in the box. I don't want to lose that. And here it is. Let me go ahead and open this up. Here we go. I'll move this out of the way. Okay, and here's the moment of truth. We're gonna open this up, and oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. The case is really nice. It's like pre-made for the buttons and everything to really try and keep everything in place. It's amazing I've gotten to this point of actually getting this because it has been a year, okay? I can't think of any other kind of consumer electronics where I've pretty much pre-ordered it, and waited a year to have it delivered. But I guess it's the world we live in. Like most Xboxes and PlayStations, you can go back in my queue and watch. I wait in overnight lines. I'll get them different ways, but this is the only way you can get this is actually ordering it and pre-ordering it and having them shipped. There's no store option. At least there wasn't for me. So anyway, let's go ahead and pull this out. We'll take a look at this more in 1 second, but I do see something very cool. I think this is like an extra little thing they give to you with a premium version. This is like a little cleaning cloth. We'll take a look at this closer. We'll pull this open. Looks like this is resealable, which is good. So I can try and keep this nice, but you get a nice little premium Steam cloth here. So there's that. So very cool little Steam Deck cloth, little wipe. Feels like a glasses wipe. Very cool. It's interesting. It's white in back and black on front. It says Steam Deck, as you can see. So real cool. They give you a little something extra. We'll lay that here, okay, and take a look at the deck. Now the deck, first impressions, it is heavy, but not as heavy as I thought, actually, because that box feels pretty darn heavy, and obviously the weight of everything in there is what you feel when you lift it, but this feels a little bit lighter than I kind of thought. It feels like the weight is very nicely, evenly distributed, so even though it's a little bit larger than a Switch lengthwise, it actually feels very good in the hand. It feels like you're going to drop it. It feels balanced, like this is something that's very controllable. It feels good for my sized hand for sure. If you have really teeny hands, it might be a little bit more of a problem. On the underside, I definitely notice these triggers. My hand naturally sits right where this left, right 4, right 5, left 4, left 4, left 5. So very cool. We do have a little heat vent back here. I wonder if that's gonna be blowing hot air on me, and valve is shiny, which is interesting. Little shiny valve, but when you hold this, I'm already getting fingerprints on the screen. I guess I need to use the cloth now here. When you actually, let me try and wipe that off. Okay, when this is just sitting in your hand definitely normally hits these buttons. It feels very natural, and the triggers up here feel nice and springy. Those feel good. This one feels like it might be a little harder to get to this top trigger than this, but this feels very nice and springy. That'd be really good for driving games. Looks like we do have a vent up here, up top. Of course, there's the power. There's the USB-C. Big, large vent to shoot heat, I guess. Oh, I didn't really think about it, but it does have a 3.5 millimeter plug, which is really good for using some earbuds or something to hear your games. So that's very good. Volume up, down, looks like. Very simple. And of course, in the front here, we have two different little joysticks. There you go. And on the side here we have the placement. You know what? Let me think about this. No, it feels good. It's like, I like this being very to the top, okay? Because that way when you're resting this in your hand, it feels very solid, like you're gripping it. It's not going to fall anywhere or whatever. And these thumbsticks feel very natural right on the very top, as opposed to being more in the middle like this, where you're kind of balancing this back and forth. Like, that's a really good choice. I hope more video game companies in the future put the sticks in the top, because that feels really good. Like, you're really holding this whole thing really well. And I could definitely hit the triggers 4 and 5 very easily in the bottom. And one of these top ones, like probably this one here, I think I'd have to flip between. I don't think I'd feel comfortable having 2 fingers here. You want to have the 2 fingers on the bottom for the bottom triggers. But anyway, very good. And these, of course, are touchpads here and here. Okay, most games have had touchpads. They don't really get a whole lot of use, but anyway, it's there. It does feel very solid, very good quality. All the buttons feel very good. These feel like beautiful. These are really nice buttons. Small little button over here, small button over here. This feels slightly weird, like it's almost kind of going over the edge, but not bad. But I think for most games, I'll probably be using these 2 little joysticks, because this feels so natural, guys. This feels really good in your hand. So very cool stuff. All right, let me power this bad boy up, and we'll be right back. Most systems don't have a charge when they come from the factory, but we'll give this a try here. We're gonna power here and see if I get any kind of reaction. Give it a long pause first, like a cell phone. Dim the lights here. Yeah, you want, this feels like it has no charge. I wonder if it's missing a battery. I hope it doesn't have to be plugged in all the time. That wouldn't be good. Let me go ahead and plug this in, give it a little charge, and we'll be right back. Okay, we plugged in here with a USB-C cord. You can see we're starting to get a little valve symbol here, so it is signs of life are happening. Now, sometimes electronics are pre-programmed where when you first get them, you have to plug them in one time before they work, even if they have some kind of charge. It's a little rare, but that does happen sometimes. So I may try and unplug it here in a moment and kind of see if it just needed that initial plug-in to actually get that first sign of life. Here, we'll go ahead and lift this up. When sitting in here, actually, too, it is a little hard to get out of the case, so I kind of feel the need to, like, grab it by the joysticks, which isn't a terrible idea. Now, you can see there is a little power light up here, too, where it's charging, and it looks like, oh, it's starting to go. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll pick our language. We will go with English. It looks like this uses not the Xbox B function, but more the A function to select. And we'll go, oh, I want to go back. Hold on. We're Eastern time. Eastern Standard Time, New York. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and pick Wi-Fi. Interesting. All right, I'm going to do my password here. We'll be right back. Okay, so it's connecting here. It's connected to the Wi-Fi, which is really good. Looks like you can do the touch screen or you can use the buttons. So I kind of hate touching the screen, though, because, of course, then you're kind of making fingerprints. I do have the lights dimmed here to actually be able to show the screen to the best it can be. That's why it's a little bit dimmer in the background. So anyway, it looks like we do have a large installation file coming in first to do the original boot. So I'm going to turn this off for a minute and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're all logged in, booted up here, we're good to go. Now, the games you own don't automatically get installed, of course, because that might be more memory than, you know, any system has, depending on how many games you have. Here's just a sampling of some of the games I have. Oh, yeah, see, I got anime games, we got classic games, retro games, and there's even more in my library. I think these are like the more recently played games. Let me go ahead and just do one of these. I think I'll do this one here. This is a pretty small file, so hopefully this will load up pretty quickly. Let's put this to the test. We'll click this, says install. Very cool game. If you ever played this, of course, you know I'm a fan of like shooters and that kind of thing. And let's see, it requires touchscreen. May have difficulty to read text. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it anyway. Let's go ahead and install. Let's see here. There we go. It's installing. Looks like it's moving pretty quickly, actually. So this should load up pretty decently. I think this game is simple enough and small enough to play pretty good. Although this game does have a lot of text and it might be hard to read. That's very true on the smaller screen, but we'll find out together here. Now, I do have a variety of bigger games too, like the more recent Doom game and things like that that can play as well. And I think some of those games without like small little words might actually be easier to do. So like some of my anime games or whatever might be a little bit trickier just because of the text part of it. Though you can read this text pretty easily, you know, so maybe it won't be a problem at all. We'll find out. Looks like we have about a little time go to load here. So I'll pause this while this is loading. Okay, we're just launching this as kind of a test game here. Looks like it's doing some PC setup here, trying to figure out what screen size we're actually on. We'll go ahead and just do this normal. It looks like there is a VR mode, which would be very interesting playing this game in VR, but I won't go there right now. Looks like it's going to kind of a PC mode. The touchscreen worked better than the actual A button for that input, which is a little odd. But here we go. Looks like the PC version is running beautifully on the Steam Deck. Looks like we got the latest thing. I might want to do some updates here, so hopefully I won't want to do too many. Hopefully this music isn't copyrighted or anything. We'll crank this up a little bit and give this a quick go. Trying to figure out where the button is. Okay, so it's like A trigger, power. I don't think I can configure that to something else. This game starts out really slow, but it gets pretty crazy as time goes on. Just kind of a shooter here.
The safety instruction card, located in the seat box in front of you, the aircraft. This card should be read carefully before takeoff, and then returned to the seat pocket for use by our future passengers.
I forgot you're supposed to go through the horns.
The emergency exits are the 4 doors on the left side of the aircraft, and the 4 doors on the right side of the aircraft.
Alright, so here's speeding up a little bit. Definitely playing excellent here on the Steam Deck. Looking good. This game gets a lot more fast, a lot more crazy. I'm not really finding any problems with the text or anything. It looks like it plays just fine, actually. And it's just such an amazing experience to be able to play this game actually on a handheld. Pretty bizarre, man. Oh, I missed the power-ups.
Evaluate outside conditions. Check that the lever is in and engaged. Remove the plastic cover. Pull the red handle down and hold on to it until the door is fully open.
The shield's left.
The slide should automatically inflate.
Whenever you get hit, it slows down just a little bit, but after a while it gets so insanely
If
fast.
it does not, pull the red handle release on the door sill.
There we go.
The
Achievement.
evacuation slide requires with your arms crossed. The first people down the slide will remain at the bottom to assist others off. Observe the fasten seatbelt and no smoking sign. Leave your belongings behind.
Oh, I hit it, darn it. Oh. Okay, well, you can see this plays great. It's not out
If
there.
the cabin pressure changes suddenly, the compartment above your head will open, and an oxygen mask will be within your
I'm definitely rusty at this. I definitely need a little warm-up off camera. But anyway, you get the idea. It definitely does play, which is really nice. see, pretty cool game, guys. Definitely recommend checking out this game. Available on Steam. Okay, so final thoughts here. I played a game. I'll probably do some more videos down the road of some other games if you guys are interested. But I really like this a lot so far. It feels very natural. I'd say the only con I found so far would be that when you're actually exiting a game, it wants to, like, let's say I've stopped playing the first game there, I wanted to load the second game that I installed. It would have a thing where you'd have to, like, actually cancel out of the game. I kind of wish that, like, once I stopped playing this and then went back to library and loaded this would just close, but it doesn't. It kind of wants to run both games simultaneously. So that's one thing which I haven't heard other people talk about on YouTube before. So definitely when you get done with one game, you want to close it out and open up the next game. You don't want to just keep opening game after game after game, like having a whole bunch of windows open up simultaneously on a PC, because this poor little deck just can't handle having too many games open at one time, you know. Definitely can run games excellent. I see no slowdown lag. It was beautiful. And I will run some harder games, more graphically intense games coming up down the road. So I may have a follow-up video or some additional thoughts. But just for the unboxing purposes, I just want to give you a quick little overview of what it looked like, how it unboxed, and make sure games loaded. And they do, you know. And I have to say, being able to play these games on a handheld is a really cool thing. Like, I'm really pumped about this. I will have a link down below for you if you want to pick up a Steam Deck of your own. You can get them right from Steam, but it does take about a year. Or you can try and get them on Amazon or from resellers for scalp prices, which is kind of bad too. So it's up to you what you did. I waited the year, you know. You guys could probably wait the year, but all in all, very responsive. Loving these bottom triggers. Very, very good. Perfect placement. The weight distribution actually on the console, perfect. Like, there's so much to love. These buttons do have, like, it's a touch button, but it's almost more of a it has a mechanical feel to it. Like, it definitely clicks left or right. Okay, so it's not like a flat touch screen. This whole platform here does wobble a little bit as you hit it. Like, it's meant to go like left or right or whatever as you click it. It turns just a little bit. So very interesting. It does that. But lots of great games, and these are games you already own, dude. Like, everyone has like a Steam library that I know of anyway, so it'd be a great way of playing some of your classic Steam games in handheld form, which is just really a nice thing to do. It's worth spending the money on hardware. Again, there's 3 different models. This is the 512, the biggest model, but the 256 model, or, you know, the smaller model, I think it's 64, I'm not sure, definitely could play a lot of games as well. And there is a spot right here for a memory card, so you can put a memory card in there to expand the memory a little bit, and I'm sure, I'm guessing you could probably go up to 2 terabytes. I'll have to look into that further as well, but I'm sure you could put a big honking memory card in there and hold even more games, because 512, the biggest model, this model here, 512, still really isn't that big in the big scope of things, okay? Alright guys, I want to play some games. I'm sure you guys may have some questions. Reach out to me, tuxtoys@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's worth the money, and if you have any question about the use of it, or the process of getting one or whatever, let me know, okay? But thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and click the link down below, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye-bye.
Yeah.